Hello everyone and welcome to a game that happened literally a minute ago. It is Nepomniachtchi versus Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. It's from the losers bracket of the Julius Bar Generation Cup, and I'm using chess.com's original interface that they are using to showcase games, as I just wanted to show this one as soon as possible, so that's why. It's not gonna be a thing. Sometimes I might use it depending on the occasion, but here you guys started messaging me as soon as it was played. I was watching it, and I, of course, knew why you guys were messaging me. So here it is. Let's check it out. MVL with white opens with pawn to e4. We have pawn to e5, knight f3, knight to f6. The Petrov defense is on the board. Knight captures on e5 and d6. So nothing new here. We've seen this many times. Knight captures on e4, d4, d5, bishop to d3, bishop to d6, the classical stuff, and both players castle. So castles, c4, and pawn to c6. We have knight to c3, knight captures, b captures, and d captures on c4. Again, all been seen 100 times, a million times. Bishop captures with bishop to g4, pinning the knight, bishop back to d3, and knight to d7. We have rook to b1 and pawn to b5. And there are a couple of games that reach this position. Pawn to a4 is a known move, but here we have pawn to h3, and it is now as of move 14 that we have a completely new game. Bishop back to h5, we have pawn to g4, and now bishop to g6, countering the bishop on d3, and MVL just captures, and pawn to d5. This will weaken the black's queen side a little bit. So c captures on d5 and rook captures on b5. We have knight to b6 defending the d5 pawn, and bishop to e3. Nicely developing, queen to c7 and bishop to d4. The bishop is now excellently placed on such a central square. Rook f to e8 and queen to d3. We have bishop back to f8 and king to g2. Nicely improving the position of the king. We have rook a to d8 and rook f to b1, doubling up on the b file with some ideas of bishop captures on b6 if the opportunity presents itself. So rook to e6, adding a defender to b6. We have rook to a5, and now we have rook to d7, just adding more defense to that a7 pawn. We have rook b to b5, just adding more pressure on the fifth rank, now putting pressure on that d5 pawn as well. Queen to d8, and now rook to a6, preparing to double up on the a file to really go after that a7 pawn. Queen to c8 attacks the rook, and now, of course, rook b to a5. We have knight to c4. Here, it's still possible to hold this with something like rook e to e7, but after knight to c4, your position falls apart completely. I've even allowed the presence of the engine bar for this one, so have at it. Feel free to pause the video and win the game for MVL while I give you a couple of seconds. The move you, of course, found, and the subsequent moves that are incredible is rook captures on e6. And okay, it looks like a pretty reasonable move. You trade rooks, but what happens after that? Well, that is why MVL is one of the greatest players in the world. Rook captures on e6, knight captures on a5, and now the move you saw when you decided to play rook captures on e6, knight to g5. That is, as well, the interface suggests, that is a brilliant move. And the reason it's brilliant is because what happens if you just capture the rook? Well, if you capture the rook, then queen captures on g6. It's threatening mate in 1. So can we avoid that? We're going to move the bishop, clear the f8 square for the king, bishop to f6. And now look at this. The knight controls f7 and h7. The bishop controls e7. And now you're just threatening queen to h7 check, followed by queen to h8 checkmate. The king will not be able to escape to that e7 square. So you can try running away, but now it's a different mating pattern. Knight captures on e6 check. King to g8, bishop captures on g7, now threatening nasty discoveries. Let's say queen to b7, putting pressure on the bishop, and queen to e8 check. King to h7, queen to h8 with check, king to g6, and queen to h5 will be checkmate. So that's one way to do it. Another way, after knight to g5, is to not touch the rook. So Nepo tried rook to d6, but it doesn't help him, because MVL plays queen to g3. It's just, I don't know if MVL had this at home at some point, and he knows how to exploit this whatever this is. I don't think that's the case because he has less time than Nepo, so he's finding these moves on the board, and you know, it's been a while since we reached a completely new position. But now look at this: the rook on d6 is hanging, and also queen to h4 followed by queen to h7 is the threat. So can the rook be captured now? Well, yes, but then you have to give up the queen. Okay, rook captures, queen h4 check. You have to move the bishop now. The bishop moves. You're going to give a check. Queen checks, and you will pick up the queen. And the white just has too much material, of course, completely winning. So Nepo played queen to d8. He puts pressure on the knight, also defends the rook. But now comes a move that I'm sure you guys are not expecting. Queen to h4 is winning, but that is a butcher's move. For this one, MVL goes full artist mode, and he goes rook to e8. Now he asks, okay, what do you play here? You can capture my rook, you can capture my knight on g5. So what happens if you capture the knight on g5? If you capture the knight, then queen captures on d6 because the bishop is pinned and you're just getting destroyed here. There's no defense. You can escape for one more move, but that's pretty much it. So what Nepo played after rook to e8, he captured the rook. Other moves really aren't any better. Queen captures on e8. Queen to h4, threatening mate in 1, and now to make matters worse, the rook on d6 is preventing the bishop from moving anywhere other than that e7 square, which you desperately need in order to save your king. You have to play king f8 and king to e7, so here is just game over. Queen to e4 check was played, king to g3, and it was in this position on move 33 that Jan Nepomniachtchi resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So brilliant, brilliant attacking masterpiece, as you've seen so many brilliant signs here. I mean, I'm not really a fan of them, but for this game we have to, you know, we have to commemorate it somehow, so even those brilliant signs will get the job done. And here you resign because, okay, you can give one check, but after king to h2 there is nothing. Remember, this will be checkmate, and that's it. You can prolong the game for one more move if you're, you know, one of those people, or if not, you can just resign, or if not, you can just accept your fate and go bishop e7 and king to f8, followed by queen to h8 checkmate. But yeah, what a maneuver here after this rook b to knight to c4 was played. Let's see that one more time. Rook captures on e6. Knight captures on a4, and now knight to g5, rook to d6, and now queen to g3. Queen h4, I mean, beautiful, beautiful stuff, and then rook e8. This is truly an MVL masterpiece. So yeah, there we have it. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about using the original interface, but I just wanted to make this one as quickly as possible. I wasn't sure, you know, how much time I had left today, as I, you know, do other stuff as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. I would like to thank Grandmaster Uncle Moves Only, Ranko Djugašević, Nishan Travi, Grznichessfestival.org.gg, and Miguel Faber for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions, such as this one, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.